All right. Welcome, everybody, to the OSINT CTF Winners Panel. If you weren't involved in the contest, the OSINT contest is about open source intelligence. It's a capture the flag contest here, and it's about basically gathering information that's online about our targets who have volunteered. We call them voluntargets for that reason, right? And so first and foremost, I want to congratulate our winners, right? We have, yes, thank you. Thank you. We have DC 608_1 was the first place team. Congratulations. The second place team was Sig Pony. And the third place, Southwest Techies. Okay, yes, now give them another round of applause. All right. Excellent. I also want to recognize our voluntargets because it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there and let people, find out about you, about stuff about you online. So, Ryan, if you stand up and Shecky, are you still here? Excellent. Yes. Y'all give them a round of applause for sure. All right. Yeah. Excellent. So this is the first time we are running an OSINT panel, winners panel, to discuss kind of the results of the competition, and we can ask some questions of our winning teams and that kind of stuff. So hopefully this will go well. Hopefully you'll find it educational and entertaining, of course, right? All the teams I know worked really hard. Just to put this into a little bit of context, the top score was 930 points, and that is out of, I believe, 1,560 points. So that's awesome, getting 2/3 of the available points, right? But there were, room to grow, right? All right. So real quick about the OSINT CTF, why we actually do this. So we started this contest back in 2015 at a little conference in Atlanta called B-Sides Atlanta. And the genesis of it was actually a presentation that I had given a client where I wanted to illustrate, how to find information online about people. And my boss at the time was kind enough to volunteer himself as a target. And I found out some interesting information that he didn't realize was online, right? And the client ate it up, and they were like, wow, this is amazing. We need to hire some people to take care of our online presence as a company, right? Because it does represent some risk. What we discovered was many of the password recovery questions that you have, like at your bank or wherever you log into, they ask things like, what's your mother's maiden name and your date of birth and all these kind of questions. And we found that you can find that information online, so you could pretend to be someone and reset their password and take over their accounts, right? So the purpose of this contest is first and foremost that piece of education and from a personal safety perspective, right? All of us, especially our mothers, tend to post a lot of information online that we probably really shouldn't, right? And it presents that risk. What we have found over the years, going on almost 10 years now of running this contest, is that the participants tend to learn a lot, and they are developing their professional skills as researchers. There are a lot of people that compete that are not in the security industry, and they do research, like library type research, and they do really well. So, and we've even seen individuals putting their winning OSINT CTF on their LinkedIn profile. So it might help you get a job one day, right? That sounds like a good idea, right? Yeah. And of course, it's a lot of fun, right? That's probably the big thing, right? It's a lot of fun. So, with that, I want to turn it to the winners and ask a few questions. And while we're going through questions, speaking of, if you have a question that you would like to submit, if you would, Chris and JP, stand up, I guess, so people can see you. Just wave them down. wave them down, and they'll come to you and help you kind of construct your question, and they'll bring it up here. And as long as it is appropriate, I'll be glad to ask it. All right. So with that, feel free to raise your hand and get their attention. So the first question I want to ask our panel here is, why did you decide to sign up for the OSINT CTF? And young man, we'll let you go first.
So we did the OSINT CTF first 2 years ago. We did OSINT CTF 2022, and it was a blast. We loved it. And we cover a lot of OSINT stuff, in meetings, and a lot of us decided to give it a shot, and we had a ton of fun this time too.
Excellent. Excellent. Welcome back. Yeah, if you would just pass that on down, we'll get some feedback here.
I participated in the OSINT CTF because my wife is very into finding people online when it comes to scammers and whatever else we come across. So that is why.
I participated because our college has been coming to CypherCon now for how many years, Aaron? 6 years. This year we had a very involved group. We had a core group that was just going crazy on the badges, soldering hardware, and got very close to getting what they needed to. I spent a large amount of my time on Coin's cipher puzzle and got very close, but got incredibly frustrated. Anybody figure that one out? Where'd you get stuck? When I got to the Visionaire with the key, I got half of it legible. The other half I could not get it readable. I just finished getting that whole readable. Terrible. So obviously I got really frustrated and decided I wanted to go into the OSINT and work a little harder. I was did a short stint with military intelligence as part of my military career, so it was something to fall back on. I enjoy doing a little snooping. So.
Excellent. All right. Good deal. Good to hear. And we know to watch out for your wife now, right? Yeah. Don't ever lie to her about where you're going, because she'll figure it out.
She absolutely
right?
will.
Yes, I know the feeling. All right. So next question we have is, what was the hardest flag to find? And if you found it, how did you find it? You don't have to necessarily give away trade secrets, but just kind of the general techniques. And we'll just go right down the line again.
So I think surprisingly, a lot of the harder flags for us were some of the lower point value ones. So sometimes finding someone's exact date of birth or their middle name, we got stuck on for a long time because we were only finding initials or something like that. Cross-checking against family to figure out maiden names and stuff. So we found their wife and their wife's sister and their parents from there to cross-check a bunch of stuff. Helped us really hone down on what exactly we were looking at.
I think the hardest ones to find were emails. And the reason is because there's hundreds of them. And sometimes you get duplicates or aliases, and they could be old, they could be new, it doesn't matter. And these sites just get flooded with them. So there was a lot of them we didn't find just because they are buried.
So I guess the gap that I had with it is there's an age gap between the two targets. So the younger side of the reconnaissance is usually a lot easier to find more information when you have possibly a significant other that posts a lot on Facebook and posts a lot of things on there. Versus the more seasoned target that where there was a large amount of information in blog, but a lot to sift through in blog. And then as far as statistics with, especially going down the pitfall with figuring out who the current marriage was versus the divorced marriage, there was information that, initially you had to figure out which one is the one, because you don't have dates right away of who is who. So which one is he married to currently? So I think it was the age gap that proved more difficult for me to figure out.
Sure.
Is the young lady here who I asked to come and explain how she found?
She's right there.
Well, come up. Yeah, there you are.
Apparently, you got to come up here.
So, for those who were trying to find Shecky's father's rank, I want you to listen to this.
All right, let's give her a hand.
Hold on. You guys want to hire her, okay?
Okay, so I started by just like Googling his full name and military, and I found like a random video that was like 40 seconds long of him talking in a museum or something. And in the last like 8 seconds of that video, they ask him about his service, and he says he is in the like 13th, some word I couldn't understand, like 5th group, and then like 6688. So then I took sort of as much as I could get out of that audio clip and put that into Google along with his name and military. And I managed to find a PDF that included a bunch of donations. So I managed to search through that PDF, like Control F for the name, and next to the name it had like the little acronym that I was able to search for what his rank was. So, yeah, you can blame whoever donated in his name in 2020. So,
Well done. Well done. All right. Yeah. So I think that's a great example of how OSINT is very rarely a direct line type activity, right? You chase down rabbit holes all the time. Right. I liken it to fishing, right? You can catch a fish on the first cast or the 1,000th cast. You just never know, right? You never know what you're going to trip across and when, right? So excellent. Good job. So our next question is, did you happen to learn any skill or tool that you're going to take with you after the contest that you didn't know before, right? That you maybe stumbled across during the contest?
I think we learned we ended up finding a lot of cool websites to just like corroborate, find records, stuff like that. But I think the best skill is the corroboration of because we went down some rabbit holes, especially with the video. We found the video, we were listening to it and trying to get the same stuff. We didn't get that far. So amazing job on that. But just like how to take educated guesses about like who's connected to who, how are they connected, and kind of go from there. So I think that was the best skill that we learned.
Excellent.
Okay, I learned something very important, which is depending on which search engine you use, you may get different results. So I use like 3 or 4 different search engines to try to find different pieces for different people. So especially if it's with Google, it's kind of challenging to get good results from it sometimes. So yeah, I definitely need a lot of sources if you're going to find all the different bits and pieces. So which was the best search engine? Ooh, let's see. Yeah, I used a lot of Bings. Got a lot of stuff from there. But I think Google and Bing were kind of out there. I tried DuckDuckGo a little bit, and that got me some pieces here and there. But I really had to use a lot of them at the same time to kind of get my pieces.
Probably just better organizational skills. I'm surprised my bag's not on fire. There's probably 60 tabs open on that laptop yet. And then between every tab, because then here's like 3 of stuff I'm looking up on Shecky, and then here's 2 more of yours, and it's just all over the place. And by the time I find something I think is relevant, I'm trying to search 60 tabs again.
Excellent. All right. Good stuff. I think this might be our last built-in question. So I'll move to audience provided questions after this. All right. So what advice would you have for future contestants, right, who want to get into this, whether they've tried it or not, or maybe they've tried it and not done so well? We did have some teams that didn't score any points. So I'm sure they got really frustrated. So what kind of advice would you have for them?
I think my best advice is to be persistent, even if things aren't necessarily working out. We had a lot of times where we didn't have flags, and we'd switch tasks, come back, and try again later. And a lot of the times that's when we ended up finding, more relevant information or information that got us the flag. So just keeping at it, even if it does seem very frustrating, I think helps a lot.
Okay, the big thing for me by far was all of the background sites, all these different data brokers. They have a lot of information on people, emails, phone numbers, addresses, relations, age, you name it, they have it. So, can I also give advice on how to be a worse target? Okay. Like I said about these data brokers, they have a lot of information on you. There are services out there that can get you removed from them. They are worth every single penny.
I would just say that there's probably not a lot of people that are competing that are going to be professional open source intelligence. I work for a managed service provider. I don't do this for a living. You're not competing against anyone that's out of your league by any means. And like they had said before, persistence. So I would think you're on the same level playing field as anyone else.
Great feedback there. And we have found that as well, where people have won this contest that are not even in security. They have a knack for it, right? Kind of like your wife, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So some questions from the audience. Let me, I got to be careful to kind of filter these here. I was hoping somebody was going to ask this. And I was surprised that no one mentioned it. So did anybody happen to use any Chat GPT or Bard or any kind of artificial intelligence? No? Wow. Okay. That's surprising. I was kind of thinking that somebody would, but I'm not sure how you would use it exactly. But okay, cool. Good to know there. Let's see. We got some repeat there. Repeat there. Let's see. Okay, so somebody asked, and I'm not sure how to phrase this, but did you happen to find any information that surprised you that was not included in a flag? Yeah. So I'm kind of hoping the answer is just no, right? Because you were focused on the flags, right? You were so busy looking for the flags that you didn't have time to find other information, right?
So I got really caught off guard because So one of our targets is the founder of a DEF CON hacking group, I believe, out of Madison. Now it's just strange that there's a team that's got like the same similar name that's sitting up next to me. That's same as that founder's hacking group.
They were not aware. And I was very scared of what they would find.
Yeah, absolutely.
We found your funny email address.
The rut row. Yeah, there's always that concern when we run this contest that, some of the contestants are going to know our targets, right? Especially considering that we typically choose targets who have a name in the industry, right? It's just more interesting that way, right? Nobody wants to look stuff up about me for sure. So we do that and we kind of realize that there's going to be that opportunity, right? But at the same time, you notice that team you mentioned didn't get all the points, right? So it wasn't like, there was that going on. So let's see. So we covered that one. And yeah, I really like this question because it starts with one of my favorite quotes. According to Uncle Ben, with great power comes great responsibility. Could you discuss or describe what this competition means to you, your views of ethical and moral considerations of open source intelligence? Did anybody start to get feeling a little creepy by any? Yeah, maybe a little bit.
It's definitely something that it can feel a little weird, especially at first. And our club has been teaching OSINT for ages, and we have a class at the university we go to that covers some of the same concepts. So we tend to focus on a lot of like, this is all public information. And obviously the targets have volunteered. So in this case, they understand that people are looking. But I think it's good to at least understand like people in your life can be affected by similar things and may not have the same OPSEC practices. So just like learning from this and trying to make sure that I implement some of the stuff I learned in terms of like what you can find on the internet with the people I talk to, I think helps me feel a little better about what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
So a lot of this information we found is through like third-party data brokers or other parties that would have, addresses and stuff. But a lot of that also is public information, like at least with, phone book days or white pages or whatever, your phone number and stuff were in there. And there's some stuff we can't control. Like we can't control that people have court records or other public information from governments. But this also kind of gives me a way to say that if you do want to find something that is maybe a good thing to do, but also possibly scary, you should look at your own information that's out there because you may be surprised.
Absolutely. All right. Did we have a comment down at the end? Okay. Yeah.
I just like the phrase of with great power comes great responsibility, and I'll just counter it with if it's something you don't want your grandma to see, don't post it online.
Well, you don't know my grandma.
You do now.
Yeah. He didn't mean that. He didn't mean that, Granny. Silly guy. All right. It's time to award some prizes. All right. We have a three prize pack that we're going to give choices here. So let me get this mic here. All right, and the three prizes are the MK7AC Wi-Fi adapter from Hack5. It's to extend either your pen test laptop, or you can use it to extend your Wi-Fi Pineapple. And then we also have a Wi-Fi Pineapple Nano from Hack5. Ding. And then brought to you by Hack5. No. And then we also have this HD video camera glasses. They're like spy glasses. I have used these on several physical penetration testing engagements. They're great as long as you keep your head kind of tilted low. For some reason, the camera angle is a little high, but anyway, great stuff. So first choice is to DC 608. You have your choice of whichever of these three prizes you like. All right, good choice. Good choice on the dongle. All right, and then in second place, our Sig Pony. You get to choose from spy glasses or your Pineapple Nano. All right. I'll tell you, a bunch of red teamers in the crowd. All right. Well, then that means, sir, you get some spy glasses. Congratulations. All right. Although if you have contacts, I recommend you wear them with those glasses because they're not prescription. Right? Yeah, I started bumping into crap and all that. All right. Let's see. So we had one last minute question. I want to go ahead and ask it. So has this competition, just in your kind of personal life, caused you to limit the amount of personal information that you actually share online? You think it's had an effect? And I'll definitely want to hear from this young man.
There's some stuff that I can't control. I have parents that are also active on social media. And I have friends that are active on social media, so there's only so much I can put out. But I do try to keep the information about me that is online limited to things I know that are about me online. And just keep my profiles private and not post a ton.
If it's online, it gets deleted. That's my philosophy.
Yes, this has taught me a lot especially about what sort of services out there have your contact information from, addresses, phone numbers, whatever. So again, I would recommend you look at yourself and see what you can find because you really never know.
I decrease my social media presence almost daily, so I would recommend doing the same.
All right. So a quick word from our sponsor, CG Silvers Consulting. We do actually run this contest at companies, right? So kind of internally, it's a lot of fun. Usually the executives will volunteer to be targets. So if you or your company wants to bring this contest to your next security awareness day or something, please reach out and let us know. So with that, if we could, one more hand for our competitors and our volunteer targets. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.